What she's really doing is sabotaging any possibility of any rapprochement with the family, because they have both leaked like sieves, and they were both fully aware of the fact that any leak was going to be detrimental to the to closer relations with the family. But both of them know that, in fact, as long as she's in the picture, there's never going to be close relations with the family, because she is so totally abhorred and distrusted. I think she actually hoped that they'd be able to get away with it, and so did he. But of course, they will have known rationally that that was an irrational hope. But neither of them is particularly rational. And I think both of them actually manifest signs of serious personality disorders and delusions.
Okay, so let's be honest. At this point, it's almost like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are addicted to chaos. Every time it looks like things might calm down, they somehow find a way to blow it all up again. This time with secret trips, palace leaks, Ukraine drama, and a humanitarian award that's made even their own relatives roll their eyes so hard they can probably see their brains. Let's start with the latest royal curveball, Harry's secret trip to Ukraine.
This week, the royal family had enough with Prince Harry and his stunts. Not only were they out in force wearing grey suits at functions, Catherine, Prince William, and King Charles, perhaps the biggest damning message being sent to Harry was that the king chose to send Princess Anne to Ukraine. And as Stephanie Sidley pointed out, the king is sending a message to Harry, and he absolutely was, because just a fortnight earlier, Harry had gone to Ukraine, secretly met with Volodymyr Zelensky against the wishes of both the British royal family and the British government, because this guy is totally out of control. Lady Colin Campbell, what's particularly grim about this whole situation in terms of Prince Harry and Ukraine, in my view, is that my belief is that the only reason Harry has been so desperate to get to Ukraine and get to Zelensky is that he knew, Lady C, he knew that Prince William had had multiple requests to travel to Ukraine turned down for security reasons. So he knew that William was unable to go, and this was yet another way of trying to get one over him. And William this week was still unable to go, but the Princess Royal became the most senior member of the British royal family so far to go. It was an official visit. There were pictures with Zelensky. And I believe, again, this is the royal family, and they obviously do it in a very subtle way, Lady C, but it's fighting back against Harry and, let's be totally honest, his clandestine way of operating.
Apparently, he met privately with President Zelensky against the advice of both the British royal family and the government. Lady Colin Campbell, a.k.a. Lady C, the grande dame of royal gossip, says Harry knew exactly what he was doing. According to her, he pulled this stunt because Prince William had been repeatedly denied permission to visit Ukraine due to security reasons.
Well, Dan, I agree, but I think that all of this would be happening irrespective. I don't think they're doing it in reaction to or in response to Harry. I think that they would have been doing all of this in any event, because, of course, the family has received Mr. Zelensky and Mrs. Zelensky before. And so, our country is officially a great supporter of Ukraine. So I think all of this would be happening in any event, because the Ukrainian situation is extremely delicate at the moment, because there is, in Ukraine, Zelensky is extremely unpopular, there is talk that as soon as the Ukrainian war is settled, that if Zelensky doesn't get out of the country, there's going to be retribution because of what many parties in Ukraine regard as his misconduct. And so there's all of that going on behind the scenes that I don't think has emerged publicly yet. And so this would be happening. Princess Anne's visit would have taken place with or without Harry. Harry has, of course, capitalized upon what's going on because Harry knows enough as a result of his military connections. And Meghan is also sufficiently politically astute as to know that they should get in on the Ukraine situation because it improves their credibility and it enhances their reputations. And let's remember, Harry and Meghan's primary objective is to make money. And so Harry and Meghan are jumping on the bandwagon of Ukraine, and they have wrangled their way in via his visit. But let's remember that the visit was done actually with the collusion of the Ukrainian government. Let's remember that. It's the Ukrainian government that had to give Harry permission to visit.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I say shame on Zelensky, by the way, for ignoring the British government wishes and having this secret meeting with Harry as well. Shame on them both, actually. I agree with that. Lady C, lots emerging about this bombshell statement from Prince Harry in regards to the reporting in the Sun newspaper, which suggested, of course, that the meeting with Charles was incredibly cold and that there was still no way back. The briefing then makes it into the Mail on Sunday the next day, suggesting that it was all down to the horrible men in grey suits at the palace, and reporting that Meghan Markle was at least in part behind Harry's statement. A palace insider telling Rob Shooter that Harry wanted to come out strong but also measured. Meghan has always been protective of him when it comes to the British press. She sat with him and went through it line by line. I mean, Lady C, we know that she has done this in the past. Do you think at the same time Harry is trying to claim that the courtiers in the royal family are seeking to sabotage his relationship with his dad? Actually, someone far closer to home is doing that in the form of his wife.
So what did Harry do? He swooped in like, well, if William can't go, I'll just do it myself. Classic sibling rivalry, except, with geopolitical consequences. Lady C made one final point that really hits home. For Meghan and Harry, the goal has always been money and relevance. Ukraine, Netflix, Spotify, California charities, all just platforms to keep the royal label alive while cashing in.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I think it's as obvious as the nose on your own eye face. And Meghan is in this position where Harry is in a lose-lose situation vis-a-vis this, and she's in a win-win situation because she can then say to Harry, you see, it's the men in grey suits, it's the men in grey. Look at what they did to your mother, and now they're doing it to you. And, but what she's really doing is sabotaging any possibility of any rapprochement with the family, because they have both leaked like sieves, and they were both fully aware of the fact that any leak was going to be detrimental to closer relations with the family. But both of them know that, in fact, as long as she's in the picture, there's never going to be close relations with the family because she is so totally abhorred and distrusted, and with good reason. So I think it's wheels within wheels, and she knows that it suits them financially and reputationally to have spun the meeting into something that it wasn't, so that the payoff in the United States was increased perception of royal connection. And there was also the very slim possibility that finally her tactic of trying to bounce the royal family into abiding by the dictated narrative that she puts out, or Harry puts out. And I'm going back and alluding to the original announcement when they were exiting, as you called it, and brilliantly. But so I think there's all there. I gather that Meghan is a great optimist, despite the facts, and so she will have hoped that if we say Harry's going to be coming back 4 and 5 times a year, and he's going to end up relieving William's load by being his wingman again and doing some visits, half in, half out. And I think she actually hoped that they'd be able to get away with it, and so did he. But of course, they will have known rationally that that was an irrational hope. But neither of them is particularly rational. And I think both of them actually manifest signs of serious personality disorders and delusions. That's just my interpretation of their conduct. What do you think?
Oh, big time. Big time. I mean, like, seriously, the delusion that is going on is actually quite disturbing at the moment, especially when you think about Prince Harry. Because sometimes you think, goodness me, is he really that stupid to believe this and to self-sabotage in the way that he has? But as you say, so much of this also involves drug addlement and emotional manipulation. Plus, as you have also pointed out, Lady C, the fact that actually from birth, this is a guy who has never really quite been with it. But I think what she is doing is very, very strategic and manipulative. And of course, we're not at all surprised by that, given that that's what she's always done.
But that strategy is wearing thin. The world's sympathy has dried up, the Hollywood hype is fading, and even Meghan's once loyal fans are starting to see through performance. At the end of the day, what Meghan and Harry can't seem to grasp is that the monarchy runs on one thing they can't fake: dignity. And dignity doesn't come from interviews or speeches or glossy photo shoots. It comes from restraint, humility, and service, all the qualities a couple traded away for attention. So where does this leave them? Harry's alienated, Meghan's polarizing, and the royals have clearly drawn their line. Lady C and Wotton's analysis paints a picture of a couple spiraling into delusion, convinced they are victims while playing the villains in their own story. If Meghan's plan really was to balance the royal family into obeying her media narrative, it's failed spectacularly. The family's united front, subtle grey symbolism, and in Ukraine visit all show that the institution is done playing their game. And if Harry ever wakes up to how badly he has been manipulated, it might already be too late to repair the damage. Because as Lady C said, as long as Meghan's in the picture, there will never be a genuine royal reconciliation. The trust is gone, the bridge is burned, and all that's left is a fading illusion of what could have been. And yet, somehow, you know this isn't the end. With Harry and Meghan, the drama's never really over, just on pause until the next PR move, the next interview, the next self-inflicted scandal.